Hey everyone, so today's class we're going to be targeting low back pain using myofascial release. All you'll need for this class is one myofascial release ball. I'm using this rad recovery round, which I think is a really nice size and density to use for what we're about to do. But if you happen to have just a tennis ball or even a racquetball nearby, that will work as well. So let's go ahead and begin. You're just going to lay down onto your backs. And we'll start with a bend in the knees. So just take a moment here. I think it's important to notice before we even start doing this, just kind of where we're starting from. So just noticing how your low back is feeling. Even noticing from side to side without judgment if one side feels tight or if there's pain. We're just observing what's happening here right away. And then we're only going to do this one side at a time so that we can really notice the impact that the myofascial release has for us. So take the ball into your right hand and roll towards your left side just a little bit. And we're going to take the ball and place it right in the center of the glutes on that right side, and then just roll back on top of it. So just find a spot there and we'll start to let the body just relax here. And see if you can start to bring your awareness to your breath. And we really want not only the muscles to relax, but we want to interact with our nervous system through our breath as well. So really allowing the breath to be smooth and steady while we're doing myofascial release will allow it to be even just so much more impactful. So let's see if not only we can breathe without effort, but if we can allow our exhales maybe to be just a little bit longer than our inhales here. And then if this feels okay, if you're not feeling too much pressure there, keep your feet separated and just let your knees kind of knock over to the right. So all we're doing is adding a little bit more load onto the ball. And then again, just coming back to the breath. Seeing if you can relax here. And just letting the weight of the legs do the compression or pressure on the ball for us. We still have about 5 more breaths here. Just slowly start to unknock the knees, lean to the left a little bit, reach back, grab the ball, and now we're going to move it up to the small of the back. So what we're looking for here is that lumbar curve, and we're going to place the ball just above the rim of the pelvis to the right of the spine and just below the bottom ribs. And then just lay right back down on top of it. And so for those of us with low back pain, it might feel a little bit tender here. And so again, we just want to relax into this. So really focusing on soft and smooth breath. And you might choose to stay right here. So if this is really, really tender for you, you might stay right here. But if you want a little bit more, begin to straighten out your left leg. And then you'll hug your right knee in towards you. So interlace the hands, maybe just really loosely here at first, right over the right knee. And then if that's okay, with each exhale, see if you can gently pull the leg just a little bit closer to you. So just a little bit more pressure on that ball. Really focused on your breathing in and out. So noticing if you're tensing up other places of the body. We're trying to release the low back, so make sure the jaw is relaxed, the space between the eyebrows is relaxed, the eyes themselves are soft. Let's take 2 more breaths here. If you have any more space to pull the leg in just a little bit closer, let it come a little closer these last few breaths. Go ahead and really softly release. Lean to the left a little bit, release the ball, and then just slide your right leg down to meet your left. And close the eyes and take all of that in. So noticing how this feels in the low back on the right side. And not even just in the areas that we touch. So maybe noticing if your right shoulder feels a little bit lower than the left. The right side of your face feels different than your left. Notice if the rotation in your right leg is a little bit more out to the side than your left side. Just really noticing any change from side to side. Good. And now let's even that out. So place a bend in both of your knees again. We'll take the ball into the left hand and just lean to the right, and you're going to place the ball right in the center of the glutes on that left side, and then come back down on top of it. And it doesn't have to even be in the same exact position precisely as the right side, but just someplace that feels like it's benefiting from this, that might feel like a nice massage on the muscle, someplace that we can relax into without gritting the teeth or furrowing the brow. And again, if this is really intense, and we tend to be a little bit different from side to side, so this side, if it's more tense for you than the other, feel free to stay right here, or begin to gently just knock the knees over to the left until you feel enough pressure there, and just relax into it, focus on that breath. And steady breathing in and out. We'll take just about 5 more breaths here. And then we'll just slowly lift the legs back up, lean to the right, and we'll slide it to that second spot. So just right in the small of the back again, right in that natural low back curve. And again, it's above the rim of the pelvis. Now it's to the left of the spine and just below the bottom ribs. So right on the quadratus lumborum muscle, so one of our lateral stabilizers that does a lot of work, is often neglected. So if this is feeling really intense, you're probably not the only one. But if you do have a little bit more space, or maybe you're just curious, begin to straighten your right leg. And then lift up your left foot. And again, maybe just really loosely here, especially if it's really tight. You might even just kind of loosely hold on to the left knee with the left hand. But if it feels okay, wrap both hands around the knee and just gently squeeze the thigh towards you. With each exhale, maybe deepening into it just a little bit more. Take just a few more breaths here. Good, and we'll gently begin to release. Roll back towards your right side. Take the ball out from underneath you. Slide the left leg all the way down. And again, just close the eyes and notice. You might notice a lot more symmetry now between the sides. For most of us, noticing how nice that now feels in the low back. Just this sense of space back there. And feel free to stay here and soak that in for as long as you want. Or go ahead right now and hug the knees into the chest. Give them a little squeeze. And then slowly come on up to seated. And a few things that you could do after the myofascial release would maybe be to take a few rounds of cat-cow just to reinforce that myofascial release that we just did, or just find some other movement in the low back and the glutes. But I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.